Good evening. Welcome to our Testimonial Tuesday for Tuesday, July 5th, 2016. Hope everybody had a wonderful 4th of July. It's the second half of the year has already begun. So much excitement in the air with the Plexus special that is running right now. So you can join Plexus for $19.99. 20 bucks is all it'll take, and you can get started with your own Plexus journey, getting the wholesale prices minimally, and then the other benefits of Plexus. And as we have time, we'll talk about that. Otherwise, talk with the ambassador who invited you to tune in. So I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Vicki Drobness, and I'm a Ruby ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. And I am definitely in qualification for Diamond because that's where I'm going. And I am so excited to have several of my friends on with me tonight because we're going to talk with you about the new Edge and Block that was introduced at convention. Now, Block is a product that was introduced last year at Leaders Retreat, I believe. 2014 was whenever it came out. And it's been a wonderful product, but they made some improvements to it that have really, really enhanced it, and things that I'm noticing as well as other people, and that I'm just in love with the new Edge. So I won't go into all that detail right now, but we are going to talk with some people and find out their experiences on that as well. So before we get started, let me share my screen so that we can go over our disclosure, make sure we are compliant as soon as it pops up. All right, so this is our Testimonial Tuesday. This presentation is brought to you by independent Plexus ambassadors and is not sponsored by Plexus Worldwide. The independent Plexus ambassadors and Plexus Worldwide do not claim to cure, treat, or prevent any disease and take no responsibility for personal actions taken by any viewer. Plexus makes no guarantees on income, as such representations may be misleading. Your success depends on your effort, commitment, skill, and leadership abilities and how effectively you exercise those qualities. Please see the Plexus annual income disclosure statement for more details. All inspirational testimonies and tips should not be considered medical or financial advice and are not representative of Plexus Worldwide. They are tips, inspiration, and motivation based solely on the personal results or opinions of the participants. Okay, now that we're compliant, as we are going through talking about Block and Edge, I want you to think about who do you know? Who do you know who needs more energy to get through their days? Who do you know that maybe it comes across, has to go to certain meetings and may have a luncheon or something they have to go to, and you don't get to choose what you're going to eat, and you may need to have something that's a good carb blocker, and that is where Block comes in. So we're loving the new shareables that were introduced at convention talking about Edge and Block, and so these great graphics that we have. So Edge, one of the things that I have noticed about it is it has given me a stronger workout. I am a fitness trainer by trade. I love working out. I have been, my husband got me this lovely little purple Fitbit for Fitbit Blaze, by the way. Recommending little network marketing thing here. I don't get paid for it, unfortunately, but a little tip, if you have a chance to get one of these, I highly recommend it. I'm loving it. Because you can track your workouts and you can see how fast your heart rate's going, whether or not you're in a cardio zone, whether or not you're in a fat burning zone. And that is where I've noticed how Edge has helped me. And so Edge comes in this little, is a capsule. And some of the videos that were released from marketing make it kind of look like it could be a powder because of the way that the video is done. But it's not. It's a capsule. So it's something that you take once a day. Don't think you're going to need it twice a day because it provides you with some good energy. And the thing that I was surprised about it is I was so not looking at wanting an energy supplement. In fact, just between us and whoever's watching this, when Plexus announced this at convention, I was like, oh, wow, fun, energy supplement. Because I'm not one that's going to go get one of these energy drinks or anything like that, and I'm not a caffeine person. Caffeine makes me jittery. I do not like caffeine. I don't drink coffee. Too much dark chocolate will make me jittery. And by the way, I did have some dark chocolate this past weekend, and it made me jittery. But Edge does not do that. Edge does not do that. It has an ingredient in here. We have theanine, or L-theanine and theacrine, which help to offset any jitteriness that any caffeine, and there is essentially the equivalent of a cup of coffee of caffeine in Edge, but it offsets it. And caffeine can be a good thing for you if it's the right form. And of course, Plexus does it right, and they've put the right form in there. But I did not notice that. But what I have noticed has been incredible focus with my workout, incredible focus with things that are going on in my life, and energy to be able to do more of a workout. One of the things today, I did a yoga workout in the morning, and then we just joined the Y that just opened up in Dickson, and I went and walked for 2 miles. And I don't feel exhausted. That would have exhausted me before. I had problems where I got very tired very easily because I had been under a lot of stress. And this was before Plexus. But the Edge, definitely, just can't say enough about it. Just in love with that. So again, a stronger life. So this can help you power through your day. And as I mentioned about the coffee, I love this graphic because it talks about, facts about coffee. It's hot. Okay, well, obviously this is a capsule. It's not going to be hot. It's going to be a lot easier to take, and you're not going to spill it on yourself. And if you go get coffee, a lot of people like their Starbucks, and a lot of people like their going to Dunkin' Donuts or getting a specialty type coffee. Those are great. But just be aware that they may have added whipping cream and sugar and half and all kinds of other ingredients. You don't know what's in there, which adds to fat, carbs, and sugars, and adds your calories. And depending on the quality of your coffee, it can actually make anxiety, irritability. If the coffee's kind of bitter, it can maybe give you a heartburn. So there's some people love the taste of coffee. I'm not so much of one that's fond of the taste of coffee. I think the smell is awesome. Love to walk in a coffee shop and smell the coffee, but I don't need to drink that. But this is not saying that this is here to replace your coffee. Some people have found that it has replaced their coffee, or that they're just enjoying coffee for the flavor. But with Edge, you have a healthy, sustained energy. I took my Edge this morning at 6:30. It is now 12 hours later. I feel like I've got a pretty good amount of energy still going, and I'm going to be going until about 9:30 tonight. With Plexus activities that I've got planned. Enhanced focus and concentration. This was probably one of the surprising things about it, was that I felt like, okay, I can focus on things. I'm not wanting to procrastinate on things. Y'all, if you knew how huge that was, of not wanting to just say, okay, I'll wash those dishes later. It's like, okay, I'm here. It'll take me a minute. Go ahead and get it done. My mood has improved. I feel like my thinking's sharper. And it's 3 ingredients. And again, the 90 milligrams of caffeine. Now, to talk about Block, and Block is similar formula to what's been in it before, but they changed the capsule on it so that it dissolves quicker. And that's the reason why it's just been amazing, because it used to be the old Block, you had to take it 30 minutes before your meal. And that can be, at times, I know one of the things that I would do is I'd be like, oh, darn, I forgot to take that 30 minutes before my meal. Now, sometimes I go ahead and take it anyway, because it does have ingredients that are beneficial to you. But it was not, I don't know whether or not it was blocking the carbs. But one thing that I've noticed with this is that I can have it before having something like a pasta or pizza or going out to eat. When we were in Vegas for convention, you don't always have the best options for food. So I noticed that has helped. Was able to go out. We have a brand new pizza restaurant on Main Street in downtown Dickson, and was able to go try it and not worry about whether or not I was going to have additional carbs in that. So this is as simple as 1 to 2 before your 2 biggest or carbiest meals. And carbiest, I'm making that a word. But it's very easy to do that. I find just taking 1 right before each meal. Now, if I'm eating something really good, healthy carbs, if I'm doing like having a green meal with lots of green vegetables or salad or something like that, I may not take 1 just because I want those are good carbs. But if I'm going to have something that's going to have some pasta or some processed carbs, yeah, I'm going to make sure, and I keep these with me. These travel with me everywhere. And they also have additional chromium, which helps to balance blood sugar, as well as the brown seaweed blend and the white kidney bean that was in the Plexus before. I think they've changed the formulation somewhat. But if you are, I talked with one of my team members who is in a season of life where she's having to go to a lot of planned meals, and some of those are breakfasts. So those are usually pancake breakfasts. Well, it's kind of hard to find a no-carb or low-carb pancake breakfast. So she's been using the Block with that. and or going to luncheons. And usually, again, those are, they may have lasagna or something like that. So you want to have, this is an ingredient you want to have. And we are hearing wonderful results from people who are noticing. I mean, I'm noticing my belly is flatter. I'm noticing that my clothes are fitting better. And again, I think this also helps with the energy too, because you're getting clean energy from not the sugar high and then the crash. So block has been shown to block sugars up to 48%. And there are test results to be able to share with you. And so if that's something that's important to you, let me know. I'll hook you up with that. But again, as always, we want to say this hasn't been evaluated by the FDA. And it's not designed to cure, prevent, or treat any disease. But it has been amazing for me. And one thing that I know several people who have gotten on block since they've gotten started with it, they've noticed that they don't bloat as much after they've had it with their meals. So I am going to stop sharing, as I am going to turn this over to my comrades here and let them share some of their experiences with this. So let's see, I am going to, Pauline, let me unmute you. Can you hear me?
Hey, Vicki.
Hi, tell us a little bit about what you've experienced with block and or edge, whichever ones that you've been doing.
Well, actually, I thank you first of all for having me to share. But I've actually been taking both of them since they were introduced at convention. I was one of the first ones the next morning to go and get the block and the edge as they became available. So I have been taking them, and I have noticed some things. Well, first of all, with the block. I'm a teacher like you, Vicki, and the 30 minutes was a little difficult for me initially. 30 minutes that you were supposed to take the block before the old block, before eating. I would set my clock on my phone to buzz, and then of course I would be in a reading group and forget and not hear, and I just wouldn't take it. So that was a little bit of a challenge. But now, as you're taking it immediately, that is such a game changer for me. I've also noticed that I seem to feel fuller, longer between meals for some reason. My appetite has definitely calmed down a lot since being on Slim and all of the other products. But I've noticed that when I take the block, I can go a longer time without feeling I need to eat something, which is a big thing for me too. So definitely the snacking was gone, but now I can go longer. I feel very satiated. Once I take the block and I take it with my meal, I'm satiated for longer. And my sweet craving definitely gone a little something that I would take a bite or two with dessert with a meal. Now, I look at the ice cream and I think, not really. It just doesn't appeal to me anymore. So that's probably part, but I've noticed a big difference with that. Also, I've just noticed, like you said, the flattest stomach, but from my watch, and I never take it off, but I've noticed that there's a big gap between me and my watch now. So I don't know, it could be the block, but I have noticed that. Just a general, just a slimming effect. So loving the block. As for edge, I am not a coffee drinker by nature. It just, the taste doesn't appeal to me. I do love the smell, but and when I do have like a mocha or something, it would make me very, very jittery. So by nature, I'm not a coffee drinker, and I wasn't looking for anything to give me any more energy. But I did try the edge, and I noticed that I don't feel a surge of energy. It's just very sustained, and it's just a nice feeling in that I seem to be getting things done. The other day, I'm on vacation because I'm a teacher, and I said, well, let me get some housework done. And usually because I'm on vacation, I'll go from one task to the next. I may get a little bit distracted because I can be. But this time, I got through all of my housework and the things I needed to do just right after each other. And I was not distracted. I was very focused. I hate to sound, but I was I got everything done. And even up to 10 o'clock at night, which is when I usually go to bed, I just felt really energized. But it wasn't a distracting energy. So I am loving both of these products, and they've helped me a lot.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for sharing that, because that, I had not thought of that because I haven't been in the classroom in a few years, but that would be a big difference in being able to take the block right with your meal or right before it, rather than having to wait. And again, like you said, have that, or then have the kids, well, what are you taking? Or you've got a product in the classroom, and then they, go say, oh, Miss Rowe was taking pills, you can do stuff like that. So, but that is very true. And I've shared with some people that they said, oh, I've eaten a couple of bites and I forgot to take my block. I'm like, well, just go take it. I don't think that 1 or 2 bites is going to make that big of a difference. So
exactly.
It's just go ahead, get it in your system. Okay, maybe if you don't take it right beforehand, maybe it'll block 46%. Who knows? But the fact that you remembered it, go take it, and that does it. And that focused energy, yes, that is definitely very true with that. Can you imagine how great this is going to be whenever school starts back up?
Yes, exactly.
That is so cool. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad that you're able to. And yeah, I sent my husband during one of the sessions to go ahead and get our thing of edge and block so that I could start taking it. I did not take it at convention because I like to wait and take stuff at home, since we were traveling and being in a different location. But I was really glad with that. I've been really excited about that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm going to mute Pauline and Isabel. I'm going to ask you to speak on this. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Now, I know you've taken this really out on the road, so to speak, as a test drive with the Edge. So tell us about that.
So my husband and I were on a hiking trip last week, and I had already been taking Edge before, but he hadn't tried it yet. We're both coffee drinkers. I hate the taste of coffee. I drink it because I need to stay awake sometimes. And so because of that, I end up putting a lot of almond milk, soy milk, hot chocolate, things to kind of mask the flavor of coffee. And every once in a while I go off coffee because I don't want all the extra calories. So even before my vacation, I was taking Edge mid-morning at work. And I love the way it just it's a smooth energy, definitely no jitters, and nobody at work noticed anything. So that means I wasn't jumping around, like the Energizer bunny. I typically have lots of energy, and I jump around anyway, but nothing different. So that was good. But my husband took it last week when we were hiking. It was extreme for us, and every day we were hiking 15 kilometers. So after the first day, by the second day you start to get more tired, and we really enjoyed the boost that that Edge gave us to really power through our hikes. And he didn't notice anything like jitters or anything like that, which is good. But I could tell that our energy was much better than when we normally start a hike, because we typically wake up very early to start them anyway. So not having coffee and having that instead, it really worked well. And the new block, I love, because I was one of the perpetual forgetters, and I would always forget the block. So then now that it's instant, I can take it, and then we can, have our meal. And what I also find is it fills me up faster. So like even the other day, I was having a smoothie, and it had some extra fruit in it. So I decided to have my block in the morning with the smoothie, and I was halfway through the smoothie. I was like, oh, wow, I'm feeling full. And usually it's so easy to down a smoothie that you don't even notice. So I definitely noticed that I'm fuller faster, which is good. And I just love that I can take it right away, because you just never know where you're going to end up and what you're going to be eating. So that was really useful on my trip as well, because my husband doesn't love all things vegetarian like I do. So sometimes the choices weren't the best. And I don't have to worry so much if it's some processed carbs. I've got block. So it kind of takes away some of the stress out of some of the choices you make. I mean, I know it's all about enjoying life, but when you try to eat as clean as possible, being faced with a meal that has, you know, processed carbs or extra sugars, it's nice to just have something to kind of take away some of that feeling of, oh, I've ruined the day or anything like that. So I really like what that does. And yeah, really loving it.
That is so cool. And that is really great to point out as far as kind of helping you feel less stressed, because stress will add the belly fat as well, because then you start worrying about it, and then that leads you down a downward spiral, or can. And you know, like you said, you know, life is short. You know, let's not go there. and the block I'm finding has been that I posted a graphic last week, or maybe over the weekend, that I've seen going around, is that, you know, some skinny girl said that she just forgets to eat. And, you know, so I'm going to lick her face just because maybe it's contagious. And I kind of shared it as a joke, but I also said I have been that person that I have forgotten to eat because of, I think, the block and the edge. I think those are really a great combo. And then, of course, our slim, because when you've got balanced blood sugar throughout the day, you just are not feeling like you've got to go eat something in order to have energy. And I kind of joked about it, but there have been times whenever I'll eat lunch and then it may be 8 o'clock before I eat dinner, and I'm not eating anything else in that time period, even healthy stuff. That's not necessarily the best thing to do. You know, a good little snack of celery would probably be really healthy, but it's nice to know that you're not going to have that feeling of, I've got to eat something right now or I'm going to pass out. And as a teacher, that's going to be very helpful because you don't always have that option. Having been in the classroom or even in the job, sometimes you don't have that option. You've got something that needs to get done, and even just taking a short break for something to eat, you don't have. So,
and actually, one more thing.
Yeah,
I
sure.
noticed I'm very sensitive to white rice, any, you know, processed carbs.
Mm-hmm.
And usually if I have them, then a few hours later, I have a crash, and then I'm craving everything under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And I find with this, especially last week with eating out, was I don't have that snacky craving feeling 3 hours after having processed carbs. So that just dawned on me that didn't happen. Like, we didn't buy any junk food, any snacks or anything for, you know, like the evening while we're, you know, resting before, you know, heading to bed. So that was great.
Yeah, that is really helpful. And I've noticed that too, just not wanting, you know, certain foods, but if I do have them, then I at least know that it's not going to cause me to, you know, wake up the next morning, feel bloated, or worse yet, add on a couple of pounds. So Terry had a question that can we open the new block capsules for those who can't swallow pills? And I mean, you can always do that with a Plexus product. I have heard, and just being honest here, is that you really don't want to do that, just from the standpoint of a taste on there. A friend of mine, I think, tried that at one point, and she said something about, like, it was like licking the bottom of a swamp. So I don't think that that's something I would necessarily want to do, because, I mean, it does have the brown seaweed in it and the kidney bean extract, and I think it's the seaweed. If it's a concentrated seaweed, a lot of people don't like sea vegetables. I'm okay with a good number of them, but there are some people that they just don't like that. It's something that if you want to do that and shoot it down quickly with maybe mix a little slim or something like that, give it a try. But I'm thinking that's not one of those things I'm going to try. I think I'd try swallowing a capsule first before I would do that. So did anybody else who is on and you're welcome, Terry, anybody else who's on want to give their opinion of edge or block? I know Terry said she hadn't gotten it yet. Denise, I'm not sure. I think you had to have the old block that you were using up first. And I see Amy's joined us. Don't know if Amy can has something about that she wants to add in there. For a moment. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to share my screen because I do want to spend a couple of minutes just chatting about the 1999 special. So as you can tell, we all love our Plexus products and how they've been life-changing. And while having some energy may not seem so life-changing, if you haven't had it, it is life-changing. And being able to control what you eat and just having that little extra help along with the willpower, I will tell people that you do need to realize is that Plexus is a tool. It can help you with cravings and dealing with that, but some cravings are mental. So if you notice something like, okay, I still want ice cream after dinner, some of that may be mental because you may have had ice cream after dinner ever since you were a little kid, and that is a different type of craving. And that one does require more willpower. But as far as like we were talking about, just not wanting to go eat the junk, that type of craving is what Plexus helps you with. So as we are, I cannot think of a reason why somebody would not want to try these two products. And minimally, I mean, of course, I love our triplex. That's been the one that was so life-changing for me. But even getting started, if you are someone that maybe you consider yourself fit, and you're not looking to lose weight, but you're looking to stay healthy, or maybe you are looking to take your workout up to the next level, because I can tell you, I have seen it, that it has taken my workout to the next level. I've not only felt it, I've seen the results from looking at my Fitbit. And sadly to say, it's not compliant to be able to share those with you publicly. So otherwise I would be. But starting with these two products, if you've never tried Plexus and you want to try a couple of products, these are great ones to be able to do. And if you start as a customer, it's a 60-day money-back guarantee. I mean, really, what do you have to lose? So hopefully any of you who are watching, you're saying, yes, I want to try Plexus. Briefly, there are 3 ways to buy. You can buy retail. I don't recommend it because why would you want to pay the most? Friends don't let friends pay retail. Why would you want to pay the most on that? For the same thing, you can do the preferred. And so generally I ask people, say, do either preferred or wholesale. Preferred is a customer, so you get that 60-day money-back guarantee. It's an auto shipment, but it's one that you can change, modify, cancel, whatever, make it really easy. There's no minimum order. So if you wanted to try just the edge, then you can do that. If you want to try the edge and block together, and we have several other products that you can do with that. But so there's no minimum order. You can cancel at any time, and it does give you some exclusive discounts that show up the longer that you are a preferred customer. Now, of course, in my opinion, the absolute best thing to do is to become a wholesale ambassador. And this does not mean that you need to go out and go sell. If that's not something that you want to do, well, hey, it's not what I do. I don't go sell anything. I just share what works for me, and I share what's made a difference in my life. Same thing I was sharing about the Fitbit. It's made a difference in my life. I love it, and so I'm going to tell you that's what you need to do. I just don't get paid for it. So it does give you a month's supply. There's a 5-day money-back guarantee, and the difference on that is that because as an ambassador, you can sell the products. So as a customer, you wouldn't be able to. So there's a difference on the money-back guarantee on that. There are auto shipments available. There's no minimum order unless you want to earn money with Plexus. And then it's only $100 that goes through your website each month, and that can be your orders or your customers' orders. It does not have to be specifically yours. You can cancel anytime. You get some great discounts, and to get started is $34.95, but wait, there's more. Right now, it's $19.99. It's a special that Plexus ran last year with the 4th of July. They're calling it a freedom special. You do need a coupon code. I helped one of my besties sign up today so that she could go ahead and get started with the wholesale pricing on that. And we get to work together. These lovely ladies who have shared today are people that I have met. Isabel I did know before, but these other people I didn't know before Plexus, and yet we've become just the best of friends. It's been a wonderful thing. Sometimes I think the perks of Plexus is not the money, the cars, the trips, or anything like that. It's the friendships. Those are the best parts. So whenever you decide to join, then you have an opportunity to get a welcome pack, which these are products below wholesale, so you definitely want to take advantage of that whenever you first join. So you're even getting an even better deal, especially with the $19.99 right now. There are no parties to host, no inventory to buy. Plexus sends it out directly from their website or from your website. You don't have to worry about holding anything. And then you also know, and your customers know, that whenever they get products, it's fresh coming from Plexus, not coming from somebody's garage where it's stuck there for 2 years. You get paid in cash, not in products. I don't get extra products for me to then turn around and sell. I get cash put in my bank account, and I like that. And my husband likes that too. And the comp plan is second to none. And I do mean second to none. There is not another comp plan like it. And as Plexus says, they set out to do network marketing the way that it could be done and should be done, but seldom is, and Plexus is doing it. Just a little bit about the Plexus, the compensation plan. You rank up, you earn bonuses. When you get to what we call the jewel levels, the emerald, sapphire, diamond, then you are qualified for the car programs, which you have your choice of Lexuses or Lexi, I'm not sure what that is, and then an all expense paid trip to Maui each year, except it's not Maui anymore, it's Kona on the big island of Hawaii, because we outgrew Maui. So this year is going to be going to Kona. And then if you're diamond level, you get a special 3-day trip right before that. And Pauline and I got to see where they went to whenever I went out to LA. And you definitely want to be there. It's definitely going to be a wonderful place. And we will be there next year. So the annual ambassador income, again, these are averages, but it shows you the percentage of people that are of ambassadors at what rank. It shows you their average income. So take a look at this, and if you can't see it, then message me and I will give you a copy of this so that you can see this, because once you get it up into, I mean, this is, you know, who couldn't use an extra couple of $100s a month to either pay a bill or to put aside to savings, special vacation fund. But whenever you get up to where this could replace an income or to be able to make some life-changing differences for other people, maybe there's a cause that you are passionate about, something that you want to support, this is a way that you can do that as well. And I love that our Plexus Jewels do that. It's not just about having the fancy cars and fancy homes. In fact, a lot of them will give before they even build their big, build a new home. There's one, the Diamond in Canada has done that, has gone out and given money to an orphanage in, I believe it was India, may not have been India, but I believe it was, because they needed land in order to be able to grow crops. They needed to plant a garden, and they didn't have the land to do that. And they decided before building a home, they're still living in a mobile home. Before they decided to do that, they gifted that money over to this orphanage so they could be able to grow crops for helping to support the orphans. And I mean, that's the type of people that are in Plexus and are running Plexus, that believe in being a blessing to someone. As women, which is all who have been on here tonight, 82% of women in the United States who make $100,000 a year or more are doing it through direct sales, network marketing, multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it. But that's a way that women are able to make a difference, and for a lot of it, being able to do this while staying home with children, homeschooling children, taking care of aging parents, making a difference in other people's lives and still being able to support their families. And this one I love. I've updated this picture from the last time that I went through and did this presentation. These are the men of Plexus who were at convention. And I love what this says. Why would 1,500 men get up at 7 a.m. in Las Vegas to talk about Plexus? And that's what they did. This was an organic group that came together before convention, but the convention schedule had already been planned, so there wasn't enough time to put that in with the schedule that they had. So they moved it up an hour before, or I think an hour and a half, moved it up to 7 o'clock before the other sessions began. And 1,500 men showed up. My husband was one of them. Husband members of several of my team members were also there to talk about Plexus and to understand it from a man's point of view. Because, I mean, with a drink like Slim, it's pink. People tend to think of, okay, it's a women's business. It's not. It's anybody's business. It can make such a big difference for you. So as I close, I want you to realize that it's possible. You can have better energy. You can have better income. You can have all kinds of things through Plexus. Better health, feel better about yourself, better friendships, better, it's possible with Plexus. Harvey Mackay, one of my favorite motivational authors to read and listen to. A successful person is usually an average person who took a chance. There is nothing special about any of us. We don't have any special skills. We don't have any particular things that we did. We care about helping people. We care about wanting people to feel better, and we care enough that we share what we found that works for us, and that's it. You don't have to have an MBA in sales and marketing to be able to be successful with Plexus. In fact, we prefer people who are not going out at his sales, like I said, is sharing what works for thousands of people. So say yes to changing your life, especially for $19.99. I mean, really, come on. Do you ever hear of Costco or Sam's Club having membership sales? No, not really. And Plexus doesn't do it that often either. The last time they did it was last year. So this is not something that happens all the time. You want to go ahead and take advantage of the savings. So I will stop the sharing right there. Let's see if there are any questions on our team that was here. We got about a minute and a half. Any questions? Any last words? Anybody wants to add in? All right. Well, thank you, Pauline and Isabel, for sharing your perspectives on what you've enjoyed about the new Block and Edge. So I would say that if somebody asked you if they should try Block and Edge, what would you say? Absolutely. Do you want to do that? Yes, 2 thumbs up. All right. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us tonight, and go Plexus.